Hello everybody, welcome back to the Mover Mailbag. I'm Mover, cwlemoine, author of the Spectre series and the Alex Shepard series. If you're looking for a book, pick one up, help support the channel. If you're not familiar with the Mover Mailbag, you send me questions, I answer them, and also like to read nice things that you send me. In fact, I want to read probably one of the nicest and most inspiring emails I've ever received for you. It was specifically asked for the Mover Mailbag, and I really want to share it because it's probably one of the coolest things I've seen. So here we go. This comes from Joe. Joe says, "Hello sir, please read on the Mover Mailbag if you can find the time. My name is Joe. I'm a 30-year-old female and I live in the UK. I'm a huge fan of the show and have thoroughly enjoyed all the books you've written. Thank you. Unlike most subscribers to the show, I'm not in the military nor am I connected to aviation in any way other than a long-term love for it. I just wanted to share that I have a rare genetic disorder which has resulted in me being physically disabled in high levels of pain 24/7 and almost completely bedbound. I have dreamed of becoming a fighter pilot and I sometimes grieve the career I could never have. However, you have taught me so much. I want everyone to know that the phrase "make them tell you no" can apply to so many things. I'm fighting tooth and nail for my health. It hurts and it's tough, but I'm using the "make them tell you no" approach in my disability. I'm in palliative care now and my lifespan will be cut considerably short. But it's my goal to work through the pain and surprise my doctors with their predictions for me. I was told I would be dead by 30, but through hard work and determination, I'm still here, loving every single day. I was at one point depressed and defeatist as my health took a permanent nosedive, but that's no way to live. Through your amazing advice, I realized that sorting out my mental health, even with death around the corner, is all on me. I'm not the responsibility of others. Once I realized that, it had a profound impact on my life. So I've taken it and sorted it, and now I'm living every day to the fullest with my 7-year-old daughter and my husband. I wanted to prove everyone that I'm not going anywhere quite yet, no matter what I'm facing and no matter how hard and painful it is. I no longer grieve not being a fighter pilot. Instead, I feel blessed I can live that life through videos such as yours. I think I would have made a good fighter pilot. I'm thorough, have a love for aviation and IRA history, and I'm stubborn to want to be the best I can be. So, please, will you tell your fans that the "make them tell you no" attitude can really truly be used in almost every situation. Many thanks for all that you do, Joanne Davis. Wow. Wow, that speaks for itself. Joanne, very sorry to hear about your medical issues and proud of you for pushing through and fighting and not giving up. You know, that reminds me of something my dad used to say, you know, when things were going bad. It said, it's one day at a time. You have to take it one day at a time. You have to take what each day gives you, and you have to push forward, taking it bit by bit. You can't get bogged down in the future details. You just have to, you know, accept it as is. So, wow, that's, thank you. Thank you for the email. Thank you for inspiring others. You know, being a fighter pilot isn't the be-all, end-all, and it's hard. I tell people, especially those that are getting one track and one-dimensional, that you have to have that drive, and you have to want to be a fighter pilot, but you also have to understand that that's not all there is to life. And Joe, I think you're getting that because you have your family, you have your 7-year-old, and you know, they appreciate the fact that you're going to keep fighting and you're going to keep pushing forward. And I really hope that I really hope the best for you, and thank you for inspiring me and inspiring everyone hopefully that sees this to be better. So I'll be reaching out. Thanks for that email, and like I said, make them tell you no. That's prove the doctors wrong. Prove that you are a fighter, which I know you are, and I think you would have made a great fighter pilot because you have that warrior ethos, you have that fighting spirit, and I think you'd have done really well. So I'm very thankful that you sent me that email. Thank you. All right. Wow. Okay, let's do another one here. This is a cool one because remember Steve that I was telling you about that was at Right Pat? I read an email. I actually sent this email to him So I'll read the original email and then I'll read his response. So this is a medical question. It's called Vision Waiver Question from Socrates. Was not sure on the best way to reach out to you, but first I wanted to thank you for inspiring me to take up the endeavor on rushing a guard unit and hopefully achieving this wild dream of mine of flying fighters. Your character and personality is one that I look up to and wholeheartedly respect. I've been fortunate enough to get in contact with an F-16 pilot in the Alabama Air National Guard and was invited to visit the base early next month to meet some of the guys and have a tour of the place to learn more. I was told the unit plans to recruit 2 to 3 civilians like myself next year during December, as this is done every 2 years. So I should have my AFOQT, TBAS, flight hours, and etc. organized by the summertime. My big problem is my vision. I was planning to get PRK surgery within the next month or 2, but according to the Air Force website, I need the surgery to be completed at least 1 year prior to my physical evaluation. This would unfortunately push me past the proper deadline. Knowing your history of obtaining waivers and following your advice and being told no before capitulating, is this something I can realistically get a waiver for so long as I pass the vision requirement 6 to 8 months post-op? Being 26 years of age, having to wait 3 years for my next opportunity is a tough pill for me to swallow. I understand this may not be the best forum to ask this kind of question, so pointing me in the right direction would also be much appreciated. Thank you. Have a lovely day. And so I sent this to Steve, who took it upon himself to answer directly, which is awesome. He says, Socrates, Mover forwarded your question to me. I think I can offer an answer. And this is for the group, because obviously he got his answer, but I want everybody to hear this. For most people, the wait time after refractive surgery, i.e. PRK or LASIK, is now 6 months before you can accomplish an IFC1, which is your initial flying class 1 physical. The only exception is if your glasses prescription is really high, then it's a full year. If you want to forward me what your current prescription is, I can tell you where you stand. I also want to add that the Air Force is extremely generous when it comes to what they will allow for pilot applicants. You can be up to -3.00D of myopia, and up to 3.00D of astigmatism, and up to 4.00D of hyperopia. See, this is why I'm not a doctor. Depending on your level of depth perception. Uncorrected visual acuity is no longer a standard. It doesn't matter what your uncorrected vision is as long as you meet the refractive standards or waiver criteria. So it's possible you may not even require getting laser surgery. Let me know if you need any clarification. Best regards, Steve. First of all, thanks, Steve. Steve's an optometrist at the School of Aerospace Medicine. So what he says is the no kidding fact. And that's an important thing. This is what caught my eye. It does not matter what your uncorrected vision is as long as you meet the refractive standards. So 2200, 2080, 2070, doesn't matter as long as you meet these refractive standards. So keep that in mind when you're applying. So I'd like to thank Steve once again. I sent him a book last week for doing that, and we'll have him, maybe even get him on the channel at some point to answer some of these questions, but a really, really great resource to have. And again, for these waiver questions and medical questions, all you can do is apply. All you can do is try. Make them tell you no. Don't tell yourself no. Make them be the person to tell you no. So, all right, next question. This comes from Mitch. Hey, Mover. Decently long-term fan of the channel, and I especially love watching your videos about becoming a fighter pilot. Currently about a year away from finishing a college degree in computer science, and I've been a pilot my whole life. I'm a commercial airplane pilot and relatively low-time helicopter CFII, but my dream is to go fly fighters. I know going in with blinders on can end up disappointing, but my #1 goal would be to go fly A-10s and get FAC-A qualified. Like you, my favorite mission by far is close air support, directly supporting the guys on the ground. I don't yet really care much about pay, where I live, etc. My only real focus is flying and doing a lot of it. I also would like as much as possible to have as high a chances as possible getting the slot I want and staying in it instead of reassigning. I'd much rather get an aircraft and rack up as much time and qualifications as possible in that one aircraft. As such, it seems like going full-time Guard Reserve would be a really great option for me, especially after watching your Flying Fighters in the Air Guard Reserve video. So I was wondering which path would be ideal, active duty or full-time Guard Reserve, and what the pros and cons of each would be. It seems active duty carries a lot more risk of not getting the slot you want and then getting reassigned once you are there, but I very well could be missing something. Thanks for taking the time to read through this and make them tell you no, Mitch. Hey, Mitch. First of all, helicopter pilot, I have the utmost respect. As you may have seen on one of the videos, I've tried hovering before and it is not easy. So awesome, kudos to you for doing that. I think that's going to make you a better fighter pilot. With that said, Guard, Reserve, or active duty, yeah, I think the Guard and the Reserve are the best kept secret. You get to, the place that hires you is pretty much, depending on, as long as they don't close, change missions, or whatever, it's where you're going to stay for your career. So that's why they're hiring somebody long term. With that said, they are very competitive. slots are hard to come by sometimes. It's all about luck and timing. The place that you want to go may already have enough UPT applicants and they may not be hiring anymore. Or you may end up in a situation where the timing doesn't work out and you can't make the board because they have a more qualified applicant or whatever. My advice is to apply everywhere and then take the slot that you get. Even active duty, I know there's some downsides. You're not guaranteed anything, but there's no guarantees in life. I've known guys that have gotten pilot slots in guard units and gone to pilot training and they didn't make the grades and they didn't end up flying fighters, or they washed out of IFF and went to heavies, or their unit converted to something else like MQ-9s or Reapers or something, and that's just the way it is. So there's never going to be any kind of guarantee in life, and you have to rely on your own ability, which I think that if you have that confidence and you go out to pilot training, you study. Rule number one, don't be a douche. Help your brothers and sisters in your class out and make sure that you all cooperate to graduate. I think even active duty, you can go get that fighter slot. It may not be an A-10 because it's the needs of the Air Force, but you can still go and get the airplane you want. I wouldn't be this early in the process. I wouldn't be just one track. It's good. What you're saying is awesome if you go to an A-10 unit and say, yep, I love the A-10. I love close air support. It's all I've ever wanted to do, or whatever. But don't limit yourself to just one thing. The goal is, number one, serving your country, putting the uniform on, and swearing that oath to support and defend the Constitution of the United States against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And then it is killing people and breaking their things. And I know the snowflakes, every time I say that, they get in the comments and go, we shouldn't want to do that. That's what we do. This is our mission. We support our nation's objectives through basically going out and prosecuting via dropping bombs, shooting the gun, rockets, everything. That's what we do. And you have to understand that. You will be asked to do it. It's not like we like going out and doing that, but that is part of the job. So you have to be willing to do that. And with that said, when you get to active duty, you may do that in multiple ways. You may end up in an F-15C. You may end up in an F-15E, Strike Eagle. You may end up at F-35, Flying Fat Amy. You may end up in an F-16, or you may get your A-10, or you may end up in tankers. The goal should be service, and then once you do that, it's nice to have an objective, but it shouldn't be all or nothing. So apply everywhere, take the one that you get, and do the best that you possibly can. That's my advice. This is from Evan. Good evening, mover. I recently found out that a cadet in my wing had his pilot slot revoked, and it's getting me thinking about my potential pilot slot. What are some common medical disqualifications for pilots? Are there any ways to avoid those? Can you speak on the petition process if you do receive a disqualification? Thanks for your time. Respectfully, Evan. Common, I mean, vision, childhood asthma that doesn't resolve by a certain age, sleep apnea. There's all kinds of stuff. You can't worry about it. You really can't. You can't, because other people, and like I said, I've done this before too. I talked about this when I was in IFF, where I knew other people that had washed out, and so I thought I was going to wash out. You can't worry about it because it's out of your control. I don't recommend lying. I don't recommend going out there and trying to hide anything, because they're going to find it, and if they do, you definitely won't get a waiver if they found out you tried to hide something. So integrity is very important in this business. So my advice to you is just stop worrying about it, and when you get there, keep pressing. So if they do tell you you have a condition, be respectful, and then use the tools you will have, because you'll go through the medical process to apply for the waiver. They'll do most of the work for you. You just have to keep pushing, stay on top of it, give them everything they ask for when they want the waiver. So like when I had my kidney disease waiver and vision and stuff, they go, hey, you need to go see this specialist. You need to go see this specialist. Go do it, get it done, get the paperwork exactly as they ask for it, and then send it to them, and that'll make your chances more likely of getting that waiver. But don't try to hide stuff. Now that means that doesn't necessarily mean go there and volunteer everything. Don't tell them your entire history, but if they ask you a direct question, answer the direct question. Don't try to hide anything there. And you know, you just can't worry about it. Make them tell you no. Don't let that seed of doubt get in your mind. All right, that's it for questions. Now, a special thing. So we do emails. If you want to send me an email, cwlemoine, cwlemoine.com, Instagram, cwlemoine, Facebook, cwlemoine, or Twitter, cwlemoine. However, I also have mail, because it's a mailbag. P.O. Box 8594, Mandeville, Louisiana 70470. And this actually comes from Chevrolet. No kidding. Chevrolet. Haven't opened it yet. Oh, wow. Pretty cool. It is all of the ZR1s. Can you see that? All the ZR1s. So 1970, 72, that's when it debuted. 90 to 95, this one I really like. I always wanted one. 2009, 2013, I had a 2009. It was an awesome car. I would love to have another one. And the 2019, which I have in blue. So, pretty cool. I'd love to have a blue one for every year. I think that'd be awesome. And they sent me this black envelope. Let's see what they said. Did they say anything? All right, dear CW, thank you for purchasing the 2019 ZR1, the ultimate Corvette and the pinnacle of everything we've learned in building Corvettes for over 6 decades. ZR1 has appeared in only 4 of the 7 generations of Corvette. As a Corvette owner, you're a part of a club with some very exclusive perks. So we hope you treasure the enclosed gift from the entire Corvette team. It is an archival quality print that showcases the 4 generations of ZR1 from its origin in 1970 to today. Your ZR1 ownership also entitles you to take advantage of an exclusive partnership between Corvette and the Ron Fellows Performance Driving School at Spring Mountain Motor Resort and Country Club in Nevada. Better yet, your ZR1 purchase includes tuition for an exhilarating 2-day school designed specifically for ZR1 owners. Please visit ZR1ownerschool.com to register. Finally, National Corvette Museum is pleased to offer you a complimentary 1-year subscription to America's Sports Car Magazine. This nonprofit museum in Bowling Green, which you guys know about because I went there and got the delivery. Again, thank you and welcome to the unique and exclusive world of America's true sports car, the Chevrolet Corvette. It's from Taj, Paul Edwards, and Steve Barnes, general manager. And here's my Ron Fellows coupon, which I've already taken advantage of. I will be going. I signed up before I even got this. I will be going November 9th and 10th. So I'll be out in Vegas for that, and I'll have a vlog for it, so it's going to be awesome. But next Monday will be part 2, or this coming Monday, sorry, will be part 2 of my F-16 flight in DCS. And I know a couple people have asked about the EPU and some of the procedures I did. I actually, for that video, I had a printed out checklist from an F-16 CJ, but it wasn't American because it was what was open source, because I don't have an American -1 anymore for the F-16. So they did the EPU check last. Somebody asked that. It's like step 29, but it was right before taxi checklist. So that's why some of the stuff may be out of order. It was a little weird for me too. So that's just the one I used because I've never flown a Block 50, and this was the closest I had to a Block 50 checklist with all the stuff on it and the only thing I could find. But yeah, typically I would do the sec check and EPU check fairly early, but I don't know if that's a Block 50 thing or if that's just the way they did it or what. But so not 100% accurate to what I've done before, but close enough. So I'm glad you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you'll enjoy part 2, where I went out and did some advanced handling characteristics, maneuvers, just to demonstrate the AOA and all that stuff. And we also did, or I also did, straight in SFO, flame out pattern, and then some SFO overheads, and then some normal patterns and landing and shutdown. So hope you guys enjoy that. So anyway, if you want to send me something for the mover mailbag, P.O. Box 8594, Mandeville, Louisiana 70470. Again, cwlemoine, cwlemoine.com for email, or facebook.com/cwlemoine. And if you want to join the Facebook group, the Make Them Tell You No, it's Make Them Tell You No, facebook.com/groups/Make Them Tell You No, and there's fighter pilots that are friends of mine that will help answer questions that you have. But just remember, when you're going through this process, stop trying to eliminate yourself. You know, don't ask these, oh, my pinky's longer than this finger, can I still? Don't worry about it. You don't need to know whether you're going to be eliminated or not. Just try, because you never know how it's going to work out for you. So there's just no reason to put that doubt in your mind. Anyway, hope you guys enjoy it. Make them tell you no. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time. Excuse me. Oh, no. Oh!
About a lot of that.
Pretty quiet with the doors off. All box two.
Don't be a douche. That's rule number one. Make them tell you no.